In this video, we're going to talk about the latest updates in virtual production from Pixotope. Real quick, you're watching VP Land. A special thanks to our sponsors for helping make our NAB coverage possible, Blackmagic and Atmos. And now, back to the video. I'm here with David from Pixotope. David.
Hey, Joey.
Thanks for coming having
Great to see you, mate.
Yeah, you too. All right, so first off, just give me an overview. What is Pixotope?
Okay, so obviously Pixotope is a virtual production solution. We've been in business now for 5 years as a software company. And before that, we were a production company. So we've very much come from this side of the business and developed our software to really sort of help out studios and broadcasters and make them realize their virtual production sort of ideals and dreams.
Mm-hmm. And what are some of the productions, applications, a lot of the products you've been doing?
God, Joey, I mean, so many. Obviously, extended reality, which is why we're here today. We're on the Unillumin booth, and a big thank you to Unillumin. They're one of our strategic partners. And as you can see over there, no doubt you'll cut to that later. Yeah. No doubt, you know, we have an XR stage that we're demonstrating their 2.6 pitch LED panel, along with our XR sort of software.
Tell me about some of your other applications, like Pixotope Pocket.
Okay, Pixotope Pocket, Joey, is a nice application that we've recently put together specifically for students. It's a way of combining sort of tracking with video using a mobile phone. Currently we're running it with iOS, but very shortly we're running with Android as well. We've just recently put it out to the business as a whole, to the broadcast industry and to videographers and cinematographers. Yeah, it's getting a big uptake at the moment. We're really pleased with it.
What kind of applications or uses have you been seeing with it?
I mean, it's huge. I mean, people use it for pre-vis, so they actually stick it on the camera, so they can pre-visualize their AR elements. Obviously, students are able to take it back to their dorms and build their AR elements sort of and be able to pre-vis those elements without having to use sort of the studios within their universities and colleges, and that's a huge thing for them. You know, being able to actually have hands-on time, just using their mobile phones. You know, and these guys are sort of 17, 18, 19. You know, it's pretty mind-blowing for them.
Yeah. And how does it work exactly? Are you like loading in an Unreal scene, or is it connecting to a computer running an environment or something?
Yeah, exactly that. So a lot of these students already have a gaming machine. Mm-hmm. You know, we as you know, sort of we use NVIDIA. So you're using this with a gaming machine and being able to run Pixotope software, Pixotope graphics on that machine, and then instead of having a large camera or a traditional sort of broadcast camera. You're able to use your mobile phone to be able to previs and incorporate that tracking and video.
Nice.
Straight through.
Nice. And what else we got? We got Pixotope Fly.
Pixotope Fly, that's my favorite subject. So
let's talk about that then.
So Pixotope Fly is something that we came up with nearly 2 years ago now. It's a way of sort of doing markerless tracking for drones or for steadicams, and it's incredibly popular. This year we've incorporated Zoom. And it's already a unique product, but then to have zoom. So for example, if you want to zoom to that 10-yard line, which is one of the big applications for this, particularly with NFL, and then sort of have that AR marker on the pitch, you're able to do that very easily now. And it's a huge innovation for us.
All right, so what's going on behind the scenes? Like, how does that, like, what would you have to do before to track? Like, how would you track before, and how is it tracking markerlessly?
Okay, so I mean, certainly, traditionally, what you've had to do is have a sensor camera. You would sort of have various sort of markers within the stadium. So there's an awful lot of setup that goes on, physical setup that goes on to be able to have tracking within the stadium. With Pixotope Fly, you're able to put that sort of drone camera up there. It then goes and develops a point cloud using machine learning. And that point cloud can be a building outside of the stadium. I can use that as a way of sort of developing the points, and then providing sort of it's within a reasonable distance, and that can be a mile away. You can then sort of develop your AR. You then have your tracking points that you can then put your AR into the stadium itself.
And it's doing this tracking in real time.
And it's tracking in real time.
Okay.
Yeah, very low latency, tracking in real time.
And an interesting application of machine learning and being able to apply that into the real world.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I know a lot of people talk about machine learning and AI. But this is something that we've been doing for 2 years now, and it just works and it's rock solid. And it's used all over the world. It's used in soccer, it's used at the NFL, it's used for sort of, I believe that we used it for the caucuses with CNN. So, actually sort of just putting graphics up, just for election graphics. But it's also used, in conjunction with rugby and cricket, and so lots of various sports uses, but also election uses as well.
Yeah. And speaking of AI, you have other updates or progress in?
We have. I don't know if I can tell you this, Joey. It's a bit of a secret one, and we're actually showing this in our Whisper Suite, or Tech Den, as we like to call it at Pixotope. So what we've done is we've developed an AI keyer. So what that means is you no longer need a green screen to have a chroma key. So that also means that you can stand in front of and behind AR elements. It works automatically, so it detects people and then creates a map, and then sort of enables you to put the AR elements there. One of the big uses we see for this, or use cases for this, is where you're having something like commentators, sports presenters, where they're sat in an ordinary room. They're sat in their box in the stadium, and you can have over-the-shoulder graphics, over-the-shoulder, traditional sort of player elements or players coming in. You can have that graphic over the shoulder, so you no longer need to be in a green box to be able to have the full functionality of chroma key.
Do you have to have anything behind you, or is it just be able to detect the edges of?
Nothing at all. It just detects the edges of talent.
Awesome.
This is revolutionary, Joey.
Yeah, I know.
There's nobody else doing this.
Well, I'm just. I guess we'll see. We can maybe see a preview or something. But
sure.
We've seen this with Zoom. We're all used to web conferences where it kind of cuts it out, but it's always a little blurry.
Yeah.
How is this improving?
First of all, this is full body.
Uh-huh.
So this isn't. So I've seen a few. In the past, people have sort of done up to there, but it's always needed a huge amount of processing power. Mm-hmm. It's not required. Pixotope generally requires very little processing power. It was designed with gaming engines in mind, and so is this AI keyer. And actually, it's pretty good. It's actually pretty good. The AI sort of element is still learning. We're still training it, but we do expect to be able to do our first release at the end of the summer, maybe beginning of the fall.
Nice.
So it's a very it's a product that's very close to being released now.
Cool. Excited to check it out.
Yeah, do that.
Virtual production in general, what are you excited about over the next year or two?
It's just about everything. It feels like we've turned a corner with virtual production. It's now just becoming production. Right? So people don't talk so much about virtual production and feeling that as a scary beast. I think we've gone a long way at Pixotope to eliminate the fear factor within virtual production, and we just refer to it as another tool set that you use in production. And it's just about incorporating things like Fly that really solve the problems of tracking, especially outside. With using an easy to use sort of front end on your graphics, which is welcoming and you don't need to have an engineering degree to use. Most operators don't want to think; they just want to press buttons. Mm-hmm. They don't want to worry about sort of how one thing is connected with another. And I think the big thing for us, and the big thing in virtual production, is that sort of that embracing of more and more broadcast productions using virtual production.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks so much, David. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And that is it for this video. Be sure to check out the rest of our NAB coverage over here at this playlist. And for more videos like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next episode.